All righty, we are here today. I'm so grateful to have my friend and my
Mhm.
yoga guru, Suresh, here visiting us from India. Oh my goodness, it's so good to see you.
Yeah, so good to see you too. Yeah,
Oh,
two ends of the world, right? Two other
yes.
sides of the world, one on the
Isn't it
other side.
wonderful? Yes. And for
Yeah.
those of you that don't know me, I'm Annette Draper. I am coming to you from Grants Pass, Oregon. And this is my dear friend and yogi from Trivandrum. I'm going to let you say that right.
Trivandrum, Trivandrum. Yeah.
Trivandrum, India, which I had the pleasure of being in his company at an event I did there in November of 2019. And Suresh was such a big part of a growth opportunity for me. I went there seeking healing, and that starts from the inside out, right, Suresh? And although
Mm-hmm.
I was there for all the beautiful Ayurvedic treatments, and I was there with amazing friends and thought leaders like Anders Hansen and Dr. Shambhu, you were such a big part of the shift that occurred for me in my healing last year because of what happened on the yoga mat. And I had never experienced yoga like you before. So I wanted you to be on today and share, with the world, your thoughts. You're such a beautiful thought leader, and thank you for being here with us tonight. And for you, it's nighttime. For us, it's morning here, and we are so
Yeah, but it's nice to
grateful.
be with you. It's always nice to be. Nice talking to you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So how are things in India? We were just talking a moment ago, and it's a little different there.
Yeah, yeah. No, everywhere, like at this time, the lockdown is the common word. And people don't even ask, "Where are you?" They all know that you are at home. So, so it's getting better here. No, especially in this part of India, the southern part where I'm from, Kerala and Trivandrum. We are going to lift our lockdown from Monday, and so because we are actually handling the situation very well. So so it is a good sign that after 4 weeks we could do
Good.
something and go out. But being inside was also very nice because
Hmm. Yeah.
that is what we talk about all the time, how to be inside, right?
Yeah. We get to go inside a little deeper right now in the stillness, right? I mean, I was looking, I have a book that Anders Hansen gave us all, a beautiful journal. You can see that. And
uh,
it
mm,
is filled, I mean, filled with words and knowledge from, yes, from my experience in journaling of the treatments when I was going through that beautiful process. Um, Most of it, though, Suresh, is of you. I had my little book on the side of the mat, and you would say something, and it was such, the words you spoke were so clear, and I felt like, and I know it wasn't just me, because everyone else experienced the same, of these shifts that would happen through words you spoke in spirit as we were on a mat. And one in particular I remember, and I shared it, was I had this realization that for me, I tend to force something if it's not working my way. I want to make it
mm,
happen and push it through. And I remember I was on the mat, and I was experiencing a little bit of lower back discomfort. It seemed like, and my right leg wouldn't go down, and it was up. And I remember pushing it. And do you remember what you said to me?
what did I say?
Yeah, do you remember what you said about pushing, and that don't push and force that? What did you tell me? Because it was you. Do you remember?
Yeah, I don't exactly remember what I told you, but usually what I tell you during these situations is that don't try to force your body to do that. Don't push through your barriers. Breathe through them. That is
Mhm.
what I usually say.
Yeah. And you
And
said
that is
breathe
what.
first and then do the
Mm,
movement.
exactly. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Let the movement happen from within, because the movement of breath is within, right? Going in, coming out, going from outside to in, and from inside to out. That's a constant process of communicating between outside and inside. So how, when you do that from inside out, so that communication that the breath shows us,
Mm.
and when you do that, then it makes the difference. Breathe into the movement, rather than moving and breathing or moving with the breath. They're all good, but still the next step is let the breath initiate the movement. That's good.
Such powerful wisdom. And if you think about today and the movements that we're making in our life with what's happening in our world, first we should what? Breathe. Breathe in life. Appreciate that breath, right? In gratitude, and then right, be able to do what we're doing and do it with more ease.
Mm. Yeah, it's that why we are locked down inside in our homes is to be alive, right? That is a primary aim. But if you
Yeah.
are complaining, if you are struggling and not being much alive inside the house, that's a waste of time, right? So how to be alive in the situation, that is what yoga is about. So because all the tools to be alive are within us, it is not outside. It is not even inside your house. It is inside us. So how to use that wherever you are, whether outside or inside, that is the that is a tool of that tool that we practice in yoga.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
That's very beautiful. So have you, because you teach all over the world, you teach
Hmm.
yoga all over the world,
Yeah.
and you travel a lot. I know Suresh and I, we were planning on a retreat down in our home in Mexico, which we will do. Um, I know you do a lot of travel. And
Yeah.
so now, right now we're doing it a little differently. What have you came up with to continue your practice, to continue to bring you to the world? You have some new things you're doing to do that.
Yeah. So I'm doing a lot of online Zoom classes, and we talked about that, right? With Anita, like because the problem to do with US is the time difference. Like now it's 8:45 there, and it is 9:15 here. So at night, so it is not the right time to teach. Oh, so that is the only problem. Yeah, but otherwise, I'm giving a lot of sessions to Europe and UK and other parts of the world, which it's manageable times. And also I'm making a lot of YouTube videos that I always hesitated to make because I thought being in front of the student is the best thing, and I don't want to dilute that. But the situations are demanding that, so I compromised a bit and started making YouTube videos to help new practitioners, and also, of course, those who have practiced with me and not doing that now. So it's good
Well,
to
good. And
be.
how are you finding that? Because wasn't it just like a belief? Because I find like I've got people on the closed group. I'm doing a 10-day gratitude experience together. And I have people all over the world on there. And boy, I'll tell you, the energy that we feel through this screen, it transmutes. So we tell ourselves, I'm not as powerful when I'm not in person. We are as powerful or more as whatever we say it is, right? So I'm sure you're finding that to be so, because I can feel your
Yeah.
love through here. And you're just as powerful as you were when I was in India. Now the breeze was nice and the palm trees and all of that. And except for it's a state of mind, right?
Yeah. But because the new situations need new skills to manage the situation. So that skill is in all of us. But if you panic in the situation, if you worry about the situation, when will the world open up, and when can I go to the world, or world can come to me, and worrying about this is not an option, right? So finding the next best option, and using it the best way, that is what we have to do. So because outside situations cannot be ideal all the time. So that can change, but what we can handle is our inside situation, which is in our control. So we can make it better, so that we can handle the outside situation better.
Wow.
So new skills are nice. Hmm.
Yeah. So
and
you do
and
that for
also,
going
like one
inside,
more
right?
thing like about this is also, like when I give the sessions now, with my experience now, and earlier also some experience were there, but how to change the patterns that we think that are the best patterns, uh, and there are other patterns which are best too. So how the situation demands that you should stop your habit, the patterns that you already made, and being comfortable there. Like, okay, this is me. I am comfortable teaching in front of my students. Okay, that's fine. But you should develop more skills too, right? So that is breaking the patterns and going for the next not so uncomfortable situation and doing your best there.
Mm,
So, so this is the
beautiful.
best time for that, for everybody.
Yeah, it's like more creation, right? It's time to be creative and seek inside, take the gaze inside, because isn't there always more? Spirit's
Yeah,
always
yeah,
seeking expansion, right?
yeah. And a lot of things that we didn't get time. Like I sing a lot now. I sing my country songs right? a lot because I have a lot of time. So that I couldn't do that before because I have always classes, 3, 4, 5 classes. Then I'm good for nothing when I come home. So I don't feel like singing anymore because all the travel and working. We all have the same thing. Even the work is nice, but it tires you too. Especially when
Mhm.
you do a work like yoga for 6 hours, it can be tiring for the body. So you don't feel like have singing or whatever. So now, okay, it's the best time, and only my wife is there to hear what I'm singing, so it's okay.
It's lovely. I'm like you. I mean, Suresh, I last year in 2019, I was on a plane or in another city or country, more than I was
Hmm.
home. And I live in such a beautiful place, Southern Oregon. I love my home, and yet I wasn't here. Um, I was doing a lot of searching last year, going to
Hmm.
India, you're doing a lot of searching, soul searching. And I really did uncover a lot of things about myself and reframe a lot of things to keep becoming more of who I believe that, God made me to be. And yet being home, like you say, supposedly isolated is the word I hear. For me, I feel like I've been given peace. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I don't feel like
Yeah,
I've been told I have to. No, I know it's a little
yeah,
different. It's against the law to go out. I get that. So you're in a different level of that isolation. And so I'd actually like you to talk about how you're managing that in a way in such a positive mindset, because I think that'd be very important. But for me, I look at it
yeah,
as a gift, the quiet.
yeah. It's you heard of Osho, right? Osho, of an Indian master. Okay, maybe very famous in US, huh? Than in India, and uh, he said like two words like loneliness and aloneness.
Hmm.
Okay, loneliness and aloneness. He said loneliness is the absence of others.
Hmm.
Aloneness is the presence of yourself. So he said it so beautifully. So
Hmm.
are you worrying about the absence of the others, or are you enjoying the presence of yourself? So this is the best time for that, right? To feel the presence of yourself that we
Hmm.
never got time for. Huh? So
It's
aloneness is beautiful.
beautiful.
It's not loneliness, as we say.
Yeah,
Mm.
you actually, I was reading my notes the last couple of days, and you talked about the music that's inside the quiet inside of us. Do you remember talking about that?
Ah, yeah,
You
yeah,
talked
yeah, yeah.
about, yeah, that inside is music in the stillness. And I actually wrote, I didn't realize that came from you. I wrote recently a poem, and I have a friend who's a producer. He's bringing visual to it, video to it, and music. And I'm going to put it on YouTube as a prayer, basically, to put out in positive mindset through this, for life, or to give some increase. And I didn't realize where that came from. In the last 2 weeks, I would wake up with a thought would come in. So I'd write it down. And another thought would come in, I'd write it down. Over 2 weeks, this happened. I realized at the end that I'd been gifted a poem to share.
Mm.
And I was reading my India journal yesterday, and I came across the part where it talked about the stillness inside. There's music there. And one of the things I wrote is it's right here. It's find your music in the silence. Our music
Wow,
in
that's.
life is our peace of mind. Do you hear it? And
Mm-hmm.
Suresh, that's you. I just realized
Yeah.
that's you. So it's going to be, that's in my tribute to you.
Oh, actually, it's not me because I told you, like maybe I told a small story behind before that because that happened in my last year in one of my retreats in Austria. And there was a lady from there, like she's around 65 or something. She's a country music, that kind of
Mm-hmm.
singer from the country, the local thing that is going to be extinct. She is keeping it alive. And when we talked about this silence aspect, sometimes it comes across in the practice, right? When the group is ready. So when it happened, and when I asked about how you felt about your silence, he said, that is a place I am, from where I make my music. So I was so touched by that, like I just literally cried when I heard that, because that is why I gave that tribute to her. And but it was it is so touching when you know that, right? So creativity comes from the silence and stillness, and not from rushing and going around madly, being to be creative. That is one thing that we all have to address. So this is the best time for that, how to go into a stillness and be creative. That's why a lot of creativity can happen inside the homes now. It's happening. We will know that when they come out.
Yeah, I know you're super connected to Mother Earth as well, and I remember experiencing that with you when I was in India. And like for me, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and just every cell in my body, because subconscious, is in every cell
Mhm,
spirit's in. And so I
mhm,
would be
mhm.
woke up with these thoughts, and every cell would be tingling, and I would just feel so connected to something happening, like a healing. The word healing would come, and I know it was like just this feeling of such stillness in the world that Mother Nature just said, pause.
Mm,
It's
mm,
time to
mm.
be still. It's time to heal, to go inside, right? And reflect, be grateful, and bring something needed to shift. What's your thoughts around that? How do you see that?
Yeah, it's beautiful that you brought that point, because when you go back to that silence and stillness, there is no need of any healing, because it is beyond all the problems.
Mm.
Right. So it is beyond all the moving periphery, where all this shifting and problems and all these things are there. When you go to the center, which is silent and still, you don't have to heal. Even the word healing is not there, because there is no problem, right? You haven't solved the problems within you. The problems are outside. When you go within, the problems are not there. You are not solving them. They are not there. That is why. Because that is why in yoga, the master Patanjali, he said, he wrote the first book on yoga, the Yoga Sutras, and he said, there is, if you are suffering, there is only one question to be asked: are you out or in? That is the only question. If you are out, suffering is quite natural. If you are in, you cannot find us. You can find only peace and tranquility and serenity in you, and there is nothing to solve there. So it's beautiful. Like, that is
Wow.
yoga. Yoga means connecting to that solution. That is the only solution. If you try to solve one thing out in the world, the next thing comes. Of course, I'm not saying that don't solve it. I'm not saying that. But see that the solution is from within. When you come from there, that silence, to outside, you are powerful to melt your problem. The problems disappear for you.
Mm.
Yeah, it's beautiful now when you look at it in that way. So yoga is that practice. It's not just bending the body. That is the irony of yoga now. Right? How to bend better? That is a better yogi. No, it's not that. How to get in better? Mm. All these circus that we do outside are to get in. Mm. If you are not getting in and just doing preparations of getting in, sorry, you will
I
get into this rut.
remember you talking about going in, and in my notebook, I have a lot about the baby, the inner child of us. And I remember even the experience that we had in India with our treatments, it really did take you back to, birth, to your creation of you to this world. And like you kept talking about the baby is the center of everything in us, that inner child, and to get in touch and to treat yourself like the precious baby that we are, the soul that we are. And I like talking about how a baby, the mindset of a baby, they trust everything. They're in a place of such trust and love. And then something happens there, right? In life. And talk a little bit about that baby and what you were talking. I found it to be such a, just a beautiful, analogy. Oh, you want to get some water?
Yeah, you will edit this, right? Sorry.
No, you're fine. I remember you talking about, that's like at birth, something happens that, we're so protected, and then something happens, we're more vulnerable, and then life begins to, I'll get water too. We'll both take some water and cheers.
Yeah. Cheers. Yeah. So, yeah, we are talking about that inner child, right? That you talked about, that trusting, innocent, and learning inner child. So when we become mature, like grown up outside, actually we stop learning because we think that we learned everything, we know everything, right? But every knowledge that we get, that's the usual example that we give. When you look at a red rose, we don't look twice because we know what is a red rose, right? But the red rose in front of you is you have never seen before. But when a red rose is given to a baby, it is something so fresh and new, right? It just dissects everything to see what it is. Now we lost that curiosity, that eagerness to see and learn and look at things with a wide-eyed, the astonishment of, oh wow, that is not there, because we think that we know. But every time everything presented in front of you is something new that we never saw before, then how can we know it? So we are just operating from memories. A child is not. That is the beauty between a child and a grown up in that way. I'm not saying that we should discard all our memories and knowledge, but be fresh. Like every sunset is different, every sunrise is different. But sunrise is just sunrise for us, moon is just moon for us, but it's not. Right? So that wow in life is somehow lost, and we are just bored with our life, because nothing new is happening. That's what we say, but that's not true.
Wow. Yeah. There's something about that childlike spirit when you go there. There's such joy that overflows when we get in touch, right? So much joy there in that inner child in each of us. And I've been told, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, that, most of the decisions that we make are made from that inner child. Is that how you feel about it, Suresh? Like that you're making decisions from that little boy, that little girl?
Yeah, we make a lot of decisions from our head, right? So that gross decisions. But the beautiful decisions and the most innovative and fresh and amazing decisions comes from that innocent inner child, right? That is never lost. No, that is always there. We have not lost that child, childlike feeling that we had when we are born, but we put a lot of stuff over it, so we don't see it anymore. That's all. So that is what we say. Yoga is uncovering. We are not learning anything new in yoga. We are just uncovering our shields so that we get to that child. It's like, again, I quote Osho. It is just, you are not just unlearning that is what we have to do, not a new learning now, because learning is the problem now. Learned and we know everything. That is a problem. So now we have to become, he said, we have to become a fool to know that we no, because a baby is like a fool, no, because he doesn't know anything. But that is so beautiful, right? Everybody loves that fool.
And you have a little fool baby, a grandbaby like I do. Well, you have a couple grandbabies.
Yeah.
And you've got your new baby. And they're so fun to watch. And they are it's kind of that. That's really precious. What a precious thought.
Yeah.
Oh, my word. And everything's in wonder. you know, that's where I feel like I'm in that inner child, is when I'm looking at life and the wonder that it is. I'm grateful for the sky. Like last night, it was just ribbons of color, and I'm in a place of such stillness in that inner child, searching for the wonder. I have on our gratitude challenge, gratitude series, people taking their wonder walk every day and looking for the wonder around them, in them, to and through them, and taking photos of that wonder. And isn't that a child? A child looks at life in absolute wonderment.
Yeah, you can look at the child's eyes. It's always like that, right? Ah, that no.
I love it. Oh, it's such,
Yeah,
it's precious. It's a precious thought. And I think perhaps society feels like, you know, don't act like such a child or like a baby. How many times was I told I was the baby of the family, 4 girls, and I would be told, stop acting like the baby. Well, I was the baby. And okay. And I always, my whole life, Suresh, I've had this childlike spirit that looked at life that way and also imagined big things. Bob Proctor, our mutual friend and mentor, calls, you know, unconscious competent, meaning that I saw things, I knew I could attain them by my belief. And I didn't know how I was doing that. But that came from, I believe, that inner child in me that I've never let go away. I would create my own world. My outside world was not as much fun at times during growing up for many of us. So I would create my own world, my own special world. And I
yeah.
believe that was tapping into the child, wasn't it?
Sure, sure, sure. So it is not childishness, no. It's like being childlike, no. That is something different.
Mm-hmm.
No, the innocence and the curiosity and the what do you say, the creativity, like how they learn things, no. As create, they cannot be taught like most of the things, how to walk or how to how to do their first things in life. They just do it themselves, right? You cannot teach them. Oh, this is how you have to walk. You cannot teach them because they don't know, they don't listen, but they listen to only their inner drive from them and do just
Mm-hmm.
quite naturally. And my grandson is now started to walk, and it sees how naturally he does that, and
Mm.
how eagerly he does that, and but for us everything is a job now because nothing is coming from within. It is driven from
Wow.
outside. You have to do this, you should be like that, no, you should match this, and you should get there. Oh, that is where
Mm.
we force ourselves. That is where we lost the flow of life. That's what we say in yoga. Don't force through your postures. Breathe through them. Let the breaths make it. Let the life from within you make it, rather than you make it from outside, right? So it, because everything that you make is your life's making, right?
Mm.
Without life, nothing is possible, right? You are alive. That's the first thing. Everything else is secondary, right? So the life is the primary thing. We are alive, and everything is happening because of it. So we are forgetting that basic aspect of being alive, and we are trying to be alive. That's the problem.
Mm.
Mhm.
Saying we're not enough, right? Trying.
Yeah,
Yeah, we are enough. Isn't it interesting? We have
yeah,
this time to be still, to reflect on these things. And wow. So with gratitude, that's what we're doing. We're on day 7 tomorrow, day 8 tomorrow. Today was day 7. Can we end with gratitude and how you see that, and how you see that can shift everything in our life? I know you feel that too. And I'm so
Mhm.
grateful, before you close with that, for you spending time with us, for you this evening in India. And I know that everyone that sees this will treasure your wisdom today and sharing this with us. Thank you. Thank you.
Mm. Thank you so much. I'm
Mm,
grateful for you too, for this opportunity.
yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you.
So with gratitude, let's go out with your thoughts on that, and how, just something you want to end with for whoever's watching that could bless them.
Yeah, gratitude is a natural bubbling of feeling fulfilled. No, the grateful. Like one of my gurus used to say, the word grateful is, just look at the word. It's great and full. That is why it's grateful. Huh? Gratefulness, feeling great and full. what comes out is gratefulness, no, gratitude. So it is not an act, no, it is just you cannot suppress it because you are great and full and overflowing. No, that is you cannot contain it anymore. It just comes out. So that gratefulness, that gratitude is when you look at like when you look at a flower that is on your way, it is there, nobody is looking at it, it is not there to show you something, but when you look at it and what it shows is so amazing.
Mm.
So you can feel, oh, I feel so grateful to this flower because it is how, you know how a flower opens up, it's like opening up everything.
Mm.
Right, it is just opening up from within, like, come on, look at me, like. And when you look deep into that, you feel, what can you say? If you question why this flower is like this, then you are living in your head. But when you look at the flower and feel that, wow, that full feeling in you, that is called gratitude. No, it's not an act. It is just what you feel when you are in the moment, or when you are like a child, or whatever. So trying to be grateful is our problem. Then we
Mm.
have to analyze, is it good for me? Then I feel grateful. If it is not so nice, then I need not be grateful, right? So when you look at an insignificant flower on the way and see that, wow, I'm so grateful that you are there on my way, so that I can look at you and feel you and smell you and, you know,
Mm.
see you so beautiful, that all this beauty in you. So what else we need to be grateful about? Mhm. And
Mm.
even if nothing else is happening, just feel grateful that you are alive.
Mm.
Just breathing now, being alive now, right? Everything is possible now because you are alive. So
Mm.
just feel grateful for being alive, at least, right? Because you cannot say that, oh, I cannot do that, the other things, but you are alive. Everybody can be grateful for that, right? So great and full gratefulness can be something that you don't do. It is who you are, because it is how you are. Only when you connect, you see, ah, then there is no complaint. With that gratitude, that is what maybe that is also Osho once said. That is what, maybe that is what Jesus meant by, those who have will be given more. Those who have not, whatever they have will be taken back, or something like that. So this is, he's talking about gratitude. Those who have gratitude will be given more. It is not that those who have more money will be given more money. It's not that. Those who have gratefulness and gratitude will be given more. Those who don't have it, what they have will be taken away. But actually, that doesn't mean that their money will be taken away. They cannot enjoy their money because they are not grateful. It is as if they are poor with their money. You get what I'm saying, right?
Mhm.
So being grateful, that is a very good thing that you and Anderson, you are all doing this gratitude challenge thing. It is to get in touch with your gratitude in your morning walk and all the simple things you do in your life, and seeing that I'm alive and I am here to enjoy all this. So be just grateful for being alive, and
Mm.
that is so beautiful.
So beautiful. Oh, Suresh, the perfect ending to an interview that I don't want to end, because I could listen to you every day like I did. It was my
Yeah,
favorite part of the day.
yeah.
And so we'll have to do this again. Would you do this again with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to
And
talk
I
about
am,
deeper things all the time.
we'll go a little more. Yeah. This is beautiful. And I did post Suresh's his YouTube site. I posted his link to his website and information. So please, I'll have that attached to this as well. And for those of you watching it, definitely seek this soul out.
Yeah.
He is a precious gift to this world, and I'm so grateful that I got on that plane and made the decision to go to India. I didn't know why I was going. I didn't even know where I was going. I still can't pronounce the Trivandrum. I say it wrong every time. And
Yeah,
that's
it's wrong
because
again.
what's interesting is because, right, I say it wrong every time. when people would ask me, you're going to India, I would say, yeah, I'm going to India. I'm going for a healing. I'm going like just to get in touch with me and live from the inside out, right? I didn't know why I was going or where I was going exactly, because it didn't matter the where. It was what I was seeking. My intention was that I was going to get in touch with me. And I did receive that. And you were such a big part of that gift that I came back to my life with, and I've made really big decisions around who I became there. And a lot of who I became was on that mat in your presence. So I am grateful beyond words, and I mean great and full for you. And I look forward to sharing more time with you, Suresh. And thank you for being with us on this first experience together from India to Oregon. It's lovely.
Yeah, it's a long way. Yeah, yeah, and I'm also very grateful for you because that is when we want to share something that's like as a gift to somebody, if that is not received, right, then it is no use, right? So if the gift is well received, that is something that I have to be grateful about, because you received the gift so well. So I'm so grateful for you for that. Otherwise, giving is not a very good feeling, right?
It's
So
that willingly give and graciously receive, right? It's the lesson in all of it. So with that, my friend, God bless you and your family. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon. And namaste.
we will namaste, and we will meet
Namaste.
again, sure. Yeah,
Very soon. All right.
all the best for you too.
Thank you. You too. We'll see you soon, Suresh. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.